Hello, and you are now tuned in to the only universe mode that matters. I am Christian.
And I'm Jesse.
Here we are, season 1.
In the books.
Officially done. And here we do our WrestleMania post-show. First off, what a way to end off the season.
Yeah, great end to the season. All 3 videos already have over 1,000 views. Shout out to everybody that has tuned in to the videos, liked the videos, commented, was in the chat with me and Christian. It was actually a lot of fun. Watching it all back after recording it for over 3 hours was pretty cool. All of the matches, I think, delivered the way I thought they would have, to be honest.
Well, let's talk about it, Jesse. That's what we're here to do. The post-show is where we cover basically everything that happened, but kind of like what's next, what's the effects of it, and we could actually speak into that now because after this, all there is a new season with the new draft. But I mean, if we keep some of the similar people on the rosters, let's say Black and Ricochet stay on the roster together, what if they meet each other later on again?
Yeah.
And we could build the story even more, but in its own season. So this is going to be awesome. We didn't get the chance to do this last year.
Nope.
We kind of clicked the refresh button when the new game came.
Well, except we kept the champions.
Kept the champions,
yeah.
but for everything else, like, we try to stray away from talking about the old storylines because last year was last year, this year is this year. This time, last season correlates with this season. It's like a show now. This is awesome. I can't wait to go into next season, but before we go to do that, we got to talk about what just happened. So let's start it off with the first match of the night. Traditional Mania style, at least the old Mania style. We kicked it off with a ladder match.
For that internet championship. We did it in 2K20 as well. Honestly, I think we're always going to do it as long as
it's a format. It's a
yeah,
good
as
format.
long as the games obviously keep coming out. I know they canceled the next one, but hopefully when the next game comes out, we continue that tradition for the internet championship at WrestleMania. I had from my roster Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and I'm trying to remember Daniel Bryan, former internet champion, and we also had 3 members from Raw.
That was Bret Hart, the internet champion at the time.
Yep, going into Mania.
Rey Mysterio, former internet champion, defended it 3 times. Andrade, former internet champion, defended it 3 times. I was Andrade in this match.
And I was Dolph Ziggler, who ended up winning. We saw performances from everybody. Bret Hart was, even as CPU, the guy is good. I don't know, Jesse, if he's on your draft board. Don't spoil anything. No,
okay, thank you very much.
It's
I know you're not drafting him, and I really wonder if I'm going to even use him next year, to be honest, now that it's a new season.
You could probably do some interesting stuff with
maybe. I really don't know what I could do for him, and that's kind of the sad part. But we'll see. Maybe he makes an appearance or 2. Maybe, the time is over for Bret Hart in our WWE seasons, 2K gaming. But Andrade looked great. Drew McIntyre had some scary moments sometimes.
The thing is, like, he looked good in the ring, but like I feel like he forgot it was a ladder match because I don't think he climbed the ladder once.
He might have not.
Yeah,
he might have not.
He was too big to climb the ladder, but like if he wanted to be that internet champion again, that was the whole point of the match. You got to climb the ladder to become the internet champion. Again, Dolph Ziggler was probably the best superstar in that match. Hit a bunch of famouses on everybody.
Sneaky bastard.
Zigzags. Rey Mysterio looked kind of good. He was doing some acrobatic stuff off the ladders and the top ropes.
I think the top 3 was Bret Hart, Dolph, and Andrade for sure.
Oh, 100%.
They were looking good, but ultimately Dolph Ziggler came with the victory.
Yep.
So Jesse, this is the post show. Let's talk about what's going to happen now. You keep Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. He's protected. What does that mean for you next season? Can he defend this title 3 times?
I hope so.
Work his way back up for the WWE Championship?
Yeah, because he was the WWE Champion. He beat Fiend, obviously, in this season. It would be kind of cool if he could defend that championship 3 or 4 times because that puts him right back into possibly another WWE Championship run, which would be great for Dolph Ziggler, obviously, because they use him horribly in real life. This season and next season.
I said it as part
now that I have him.
I said it as part of the build. Dolph Ziggler is the guy in WWE in real life that they'll grab randomly, like they'll keep him on the show for 4 months and say, "Hey Dolph, we just got a new champion, and we want him to look credible, beating a former world champion, and we can act like it's a big renaissance for Dolph Ziggler, and he's a credible threat, and he's really coming for revenge this time. But we can actually do that proper if he can defend this title a few times and really work his way back up.
It'd be great because I love Dolph Ziggler. I love using him. I love booking him. He's a great wrestler. He has a good character. He has the look. And I can't wait because if he defends that Internet Championship, he's gunning right for Roman Reigns, who is my WWE champion.
Well, we will see. We will see. Well, let's also talk about the second match of the night, which was interbrand action as well. Seth Rollins himself versus Johnny Gargano. Talk about protections. You got to mention that Seth Rollins is now a protected member of Monday Night Raw. How you feel about that?
He was my first pick, to be honest. Yeah. So that kind of like hit me in the stomach early.
I might have him on the trade block.
Oh, really?
So maybe after the draft.
We'll talk about what during the draft episode then. Okay.
Yeah, maybe after. Honestly, that was a big part of why I wanted to be him. I knew you wanted him, and I knew that value.
He's so fun to use.
I honestly think of him as a possible, almost like a sign and trade.
Okay.
So, I might be he might be on the table, but we'll see how the draft pans out. This was a pretty good match. It was a great way to. I mean, Seth Rollins really looked like he was Seth Rollins in what we saw in the beginning of the year with him.
Yeah, he was dominant.
Back. Johnny Gargano did start to fight back, but ultimately, at this point, I really didn't want to go down 2-0, so I was going to do anything for the win.
Yeah.
And I had to.
Yeah, hit me with the, I think the knee. I think you might hit me with the curb stomp too.
I did.
But it put Gargano away, and the thing that you got to realize too is Gargano is now on the board. He's not protected. He is no longer on Friday Night SmackDown unless Christian doesn't draft him. But I know Christian, he's an NXT guy. I mean, he's seen Gargano live in person. He's watched him plenty of times with me on pay-per-views. We've seen him live.
I can't wait to see our strategies going into the draft. And honestly, maybe we even do a video after the draft and like kind of I keep the cameras rolling and just we talk about kind of like
we
our
react
mindset.
to that'd be kind of cool.
Like almost like a behind the scenes. And you know what? I think I just got... Bro, I'm pouring out content now, baby.
Honestly, I know my first 3 picks.
I know none of mine. I really do not know where I'm going until you make your first pick, but it's weird. I know my last picks. I know my final pick, and I know my pick before that.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't went into that much detail.
My mind is... and I'm literally putting notes next to people, like, if he's still around late this...
Yeah, me
like,
too.
That's what I'm doing...
I put people like
but I have no idea who's my first pick.
I put people like on my note card, like possibly trade, maybe question mark, like stuff that I could maybe interest Christian into a trade, maybe a blockbuster trade during the draft or superstars shakeup, whatever you want to call it.
It's going to be so fun, guys, and that's why I wanted this match to happen, Seth Rollins versus Gargano, because it could throw a wrench in your whatever it's called. You know the expression. I don't gotta say it to you. A wrench in your direction. I don't know. But, so this was a pretty good match to kick it off. And then Jesse disappointed me with the third match of the night, Velveteen Dream versus Undertaker. We had Velveteen Dream look like a star. And then he actually did the match.
He wasn't a star, bro. Going into the season, everyone knew, I don't think Dream had 2 wins, if a win.
He didn't.
But he wanted that moment at WrestleMania. He got it. He came into WrestleMania with the old-time Undertaker attire.
It's not the moment I was looking for.
Well, it was the only moment he got because Undertaker squashed Velveteen Dream. Bro, Undertaker's, I think, 56 years old, or probably even older than that, to be honest. I don't want to do a fact check right now. But Undertaker, he's old. It was like when he went against Cena, they had to Taker look good, especially after he just lost to Aleister Black in our 2K19 season. So this season, he came out with a victory, and he beat Velveteen Dream, bro.
I didn't know. I put it in the chat when we were doing the live premiere. I asked the chat, I said, hey, guys, although Velveteen is kind of iffy in the game, do you still want to see him get screen time? You want to see him in an attempt to get pushed? Obviously, we don't script these winners, so we can only do so much with them. With that being said, the chat gave me a great response saying basically, yes.
Because he always does tell good stories.
So with that said...
I'll agree with that.
Velveteen Dream will have a moment in the first episode of Monday Night Raw of next season. I promise you that.
You can keep him.
He's having a moment. I know you're not drafting him.
I'm not drafting Velveteen.
He's going to have a moment.
I'm not drafting.
And it's breaking the universe.
Okay, I can't wait to see that. But yeah, does Undertaker get drafted? Is the thing? Like,
maybe
could it be possible he could be on a Friday Night SmackDown or a Monday Night Raw roster? I don't know. I mean, maybe if it was a few years ago where Undertaker was younger, I'd be interested in him. But I'm not saying I'm not interested in him because he did look good against Dream. He did win at WrestleMania.
You don't like him.
I'm not interested in Dream, but it's possible I might be thinking about Taker. Who knows? But
let's hope not.
Yeah. But 3 matches in, I was up 2-1. I won with Taker, and I won the internet match. He won the Seth and Gargano match. And the last match to end Part 1 or Act 1 of WrestleMania, whatever you want to call it, was my triple threat women's match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was Rhea Ripley, Ronda Rousey, the Royal Rumble winner, and more importantly, Sister Abigail, who could arguably be Superstar of the Year for the women.
And we're going to cover that. We have the nominations of our award show in these post-it notes. The award show is going to be the next
episode.
I can't say episode, but the next video we drop.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be huge. It's going to be big. Look out for that.
But, yeah, this was potentially going into Mania. I thought it could have been one of the best matches of the night. I wish it went a little bit longer, but I took the opportunity. This pay-per-view, yes, I wanted to win the most matches because I get
Jesse
the first overall
was
pick.
Ruining my fun.
And I never had a first overall pick because the first season we did, he had the first pick. We did rock, paper, scissors, just kept it simple. Last season, he won at Mania, so he got Aleister Black with the first pick. This season, I have the first overall pick, and I know who it's going to be. And it might shock you. So this
is the first time with your first pick? Is that what you're saying?
With the first overall pick, yeah.
Wow, okay.
So it might shock you who I'm going to get. I know who I'm going to get. And it's the superstar I'm thinking about. It's...
I want to say don't even give details, but I want to know just due to the strength that...
It's going to be fun.
I'm trying to combat against it.
It's going to be fun
I was hoping
using he or she. I'm not going to say what gender, but they're in big plans of mine for season 2 for sure. And hopefully I'm good with he or she because I want them to be a champion.
Maybe that was a tell right there. I'm just going to try to find the tell in everything you do. Yeah, but Rhea Ripley won. Finally,
yeah, she hit the riptide.
It feels like she deserved this.
She did. She was clear-cut #1 contender from the beginning until she lost to Sister Abigail at Royal Rumble. She lost fair and square, and then Rhea was like, hey, like, what can I do to get back into that title picture for Mania? Because I always had plans with Rhea being at WrestleMania because how dominant I was with her. She always won matches. She beat people like Sasha Banks, Bayley, Io, Toni Storm, Mia Yim. She's beaten pretty much everyone on my roster, and my SmackDown roster for the women's was stacked. And then Ronda Rousey won at Royal Rumble as well. The reason why she was involved on the SmackDown Women's Championship was because I was her at WrestleMania, and if I won with her, which I did, I pretty much stole Ronda Rousey for free. And stealing Ronda Rousey for free is like getting candy at a candy store and you didn't even pay for it. Because Ronda Rousey, obviously former UFC champion, one of my favorites, and she became on my roster. She fought for that SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea and Sister Abigail. And it was a pretty cool match. Ronda Rousey almost submitted Sister Abigail. There was one point where Ronda Rousey almost won, and it could have been interesting.
Think about it now, that would have been there was 2 moments that was complete game changers. It was that one and a moment we're going to get to later on. But I almost had that.
Yeah, you did.
Almost!
I was surprised she kind of... Well, I knew she was going to get out of it, but like she made it interesting where... Like, oh man, like Ronda Rousey can just hit one armbar in and tap Sister Abigail, arguably the most dominant women's superstar this season. But Sister Abigail fought out of it. I believe Ronda Rousey got hit by something on Sister Abigail. She rolled out, because in triple threat matches they roll out a lot. And then Sister Abigail, back was turned. I went for the riptide. I hit it right on the chair. And Ronda Rousey's down. I just hit a finisher on a chair. Cool moment to end it. And she won 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley's my protected champion going into season 2.
Alright, I guess the cat's out the bag too. Rhea Ripley would have been the first girl I would have drafted. I can't say first person I would have drafted, but I was gunning for Rhea.
That's why I wanted to be Rhea at Mania, because
I was gunning for
if
Rhea.
I wasn't going to win with Rhea, she probably would have been the first women's, I would have drafted too. But it makes it interesting because Ronda Rousey is now available again.
And so is
Sister Abigail.
Sister Abigail. That is what makes it interesting. At the end of the day, who is left on the board? Ripley is gone, but hey, maybe I got Sister Abigail in my eyes.
Yeah, or Ronda. I mean, either or.
Maybe both.
Could be or I could get both. He could get both. It'd be two great additions to either the blue brand or the red brand.
Well, Ronda Rousey may be coming back.
Yeah.
We'll see. I like to see what might happen.
Yeah, could go back with Shayna Baszler, or maybe she goes solo. You know, who knows, man? Anything could happen season 2. Literally anything.
But yeah, so that was the end of part 1. Please go ahead and check that out. Part 2 kicked it off with Jesse. Help me out. It is the tag team match.
It was New Day and...
No, it's
I'm sorry.
Undisputed versus Rated RKO for the championship. One of the early matches of the night.
Yeah.
This right here was good shiz, man.
I think it was the 3rd best match of Mania, to be honest.
What is the 2nd?
I loved that Fiend Roman match.
Okay.
Personally. Because, one, it was one of the longest matches. We'll get into that match later. But, yeah. Part 2, it started off great. Some tag team action. Undisputed Era, the number 1 contenders, they won at Survivor Series. They beat the OC, the club, including Finn
I was
Balor.
undisputed, right?
I was undisputed.
Oh, I lost?
Yeah.
Damn.
Remember the CPU screwed me, and Kyle O'Reilly did it all on his own at the end?
I'm not talking about Survivor Series.
Oh!
I'm talking about
WrestleMania. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you were talking about that.
Was that undisputed?
Yes. Yeah, I was rated RKO. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but rated RKO, the champions, they were the champions by becoming tag team champions, obviously beating Street Profits, who were nominated for one of the best tag teams this season. They beat them, I believe, 2 or 3 times. They had a really dominant run toward the end of the season. Edge joined Rookie Killer Orton. He loved what he was doing with killing all of the young guys and building them up. And Randy, the legend he is, the veteran, whatever you want to call him, but I'll call him the Rookie Killer. He pretty much ruined everybody. He ruined Matt Riddle. He ruined Tommaso Ciampa and Velveteen Dream. That's why they went to the red brand. Won against Undisputed Era. Won against Street Profits.
That's an interesting thing you say, Jesse. Is there a curse with Randy Orton if you lose to him?
Yeah.
Look what happened to Riddle. Look what happened to
Velveteen, Tommaso, Street Profits. Yeah. And what's weird is too, like,
Undisputed Era won. Did Undisputed beat this curse?
Yeah. Well, technically no, because he didn't get pinned.
That's a valid point. And
Strong used that tactic where he hit Randy with the chair, so it wasn't really a
Has
a
Randy
real
Orton
win.
not been pinned yet this year?
Yeah.
Oh, a Randy Orton versus Black match might be good.
I always said they worked together perfectly. It's that legend, and then obviously Black had a great season.
Draft board.
But yeah, we had Undisputed Era become the champions. It was a great match. They beat Rated RKO. I think you submitted Edge or pinned him. I'm not really sure, but I know Randy Orton was knocked down on the outside. Roderick Strong was there.
I made him tap.
Oh, you made him tap? Okay. Adam Cole was not there because he was involved in Part 3 of WrestleMania, but early on, going into Part 3, I had 3 champions of Undisputed Era. I had Kyle and Bobby be the tag champions, and Adam Cole going into his triple threat match in Part 3 was the United States champion. Undisputed Era with the protected, as a protected pick. Yeah, that's a protected pick. Me and Christian, we're not fans of splitting up factions. So technically, I keep Undisputed Era. I want to make the point that technically Roderick Strong is on the draft board. He is. Just like New Day, the tag team is technically on the draft board. Now, once again, I don't want to spoil anything necessarily, but if we do decide to draft them, if we do decide to draft them, we will be splitting them as a team. So that would be a choice that one of us would make if we wanted to do that. Yeah. But it's not necessarily off of the table, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're also protected just because one person is champion. I just wanted to make that disclaimer. Yeah. Knowing myself, though, since you have Kofi, I don't want to split up. I get it you know what entirely. I mean? Because Roderick Strong's worth without Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. It goes down just maybe you could revise him, but have a solo career, but without his buddies, it's kind of hard because he's Undisputed Era. Is it worth the risk? Yeah. So it worked for me because going into Part 3, I had 3 champions out of the 4, and who knows, maybe Roderick Strong could have bit Ricochet a few weeks ago, and they could have all had the championships. It would have been cool, but I'm glad I had the 3 of them be the champions.
It's a really good protection, and spoiler alert, Adam Cole did retain his title. But like if maybe Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly just won and Adam Cole would have lost, now maybe Adam Cole and Roddy, maybe that's something I would have been interested in.
Yeah, I would have probably allowed that. Because Adam Cole is the leader, and Roderick Strong is like that number 2 guy.
That's allowed. They would have been on the table.
Exactly.
So I'm saying it might have made something interesting. Maybe I would have wanted to draft him. Now Adam Cole off, so obviously your draft stock kind of goes down a little bit.
Yep, exactly. But I have one of the best factions on my roster in Undisputed Era. So
they got hot at the right time, and
they
cashed in that heat for some gold.
And it's gonna be interesting because for season 2, obviously I'm gonna have them involved because they're my champions to start off. I have a lot of ideas. For one, drafting tag teams in the draft, and just in general from the tag teams that I don't know if Christian will draft, and I could probably keep on my roster. That way, Undisputed Era could stay busy and maybe defend those championships. I feel
like our tag team scenes need a little bit of some change.
Yeah. I'm definitely aiming for some tag teams in the draft for sure.
We'll see how it does change. I'm excited to see how that goes. But our next match of the day did involve tag teams as well, and it involved a champion as well. 2 champions to be exact. 3 champions to be exact. We had Mustache Mountain and Pete Dunne, I guess, making them British Strong Style for a day only, because I don't know if Pete Dunne stays on my roster next year. Maybe he does, maybe he does not. But they faced the New Day. Kofi Kingston, obviously my Intercontinental Champion, and his 2 guys, Big E, Xavier Woods. This match was a tornado tag. It was a lot going on. It might have been too much going on, but ultimately, it was almost like waves. British Strong Style had like everybody down. Then New Day had everybody down, and ultimately New Day had me down long enough to win.
Yeah, Big E hit with I'm pretty sure I hit Trent or Tyler with the big ending, and someone tried to break it up, and it was a little too late, and I got the victory. I'm now up. What in this pay-per-view?
5-3.
Yeah.
At this point.
5-3. I was.
No, 6-3. No, I'm sorry, 4-3.
Oh, okay.
Is it 4-3?
I think so.
No, it might be capping.
3.
No, you might have.
3-2.
It might
4-2.
It might be 4-2.
4-2. Yeah. 4-2. But halfway through the pay-per-view, I'm up 4-2, which is great for me.
3-1, then 4-2.
And then what was the third match?
The third match was.
Riddle and
Matt Riddle.
Yeah, Matt Riddle and Brock. It was a 2 out of 3. No. Yeah. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match, but the only way you can get a fall is by knocking out the other opponent.
Knocked out my controller.
Matt Riddle was looking a little off at Mania. He definitely talked a little bit too much. Brock Lesnar was in his element. He was in that cage, obviously, before being a UFC champion years ago. Paul Heyman did his job. He's a very creative guy. He's a genius. Brock Lesnar, one of the best athletes ever. And he was in his element. He was at WrestleMania. He was in a cage. And he took the rookie to school. He took Matt Riddle to school. He was in LA. And Matt Riddle, I think he's going to stay in LA for a while because he did get embarrassed at WrestleMania.
It looked bad.
Yeah. He did have a match against Brock. That's what he wanted at WrestleMania. I had plans for that match for a while.
There was one moment, I think it happens in almost every Brock match in real life, where you're like, oh my god, maybe he could actually win this. And like there was one moment where I was in my groove, I even hit you with my signature, and I was hoping it would knock you out. I really didn't think it would. But
it takes a lot to damage and put down Brock Lesnar, just as House of Black.
But ultimately what came down to is I only had 3 reversals, I guess, because Matt Riddle lost prior.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me because Matt Riddle had a hell of a year going into WrestleMania. He lost to John Cena, yes, before WrestleMania.
If I had 4 reversals, that might have been a whole different thing.
It could have been, yeah. Because when we were...
I that 3 moments that freaking screwed me.
Could have...
a few things screwed me, but whatever.
It could have been interesting if
2K Gate.
Matt Riddle had another reversal because like he beat people like Gargano. I'm pretty sure he beat Edge. He beat Shinsuke, Drew, Bobby Lashley. Like he had a lot of... He beat The Fiend for one point. Was the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Like he had a great season. But right before WrestleMania, he went against Cena and he got squashed. And the game was like, all right, let's screw Christian because that was obviously Brock Lesnar. Let's give Matt Riddle 3 reversals and let's have Brock Lesnar just dominate Matt Riddle at Mania. So it worked out for me. I'm up 5-2 in the pay-per-view.
What really worked out for me, shut up, is this next match.
Yeah, the main event for part 2.
The main event, the match I was waiting for, really, no spoiler here, we marketed it as the battle for Superstar of the Year. Ricochet, Ricochet.
Could have been the main event of our entire show.
Absolutely. Versus Aleister Black. Man, and at this point, I was down 5-2. I needed a win.
Yeah.
I needed a win, so I went with the guy who I was safest with, and also I was thinking draft. Ricochet was already protected. I wanted to protect Black. You guys know how I feel about Black. Jesse knows how I feel about Black. Wanted to protect him. I think I did just that. I couldn't have had a better game plan with Black, but I love how the match turned out.
So
really,
did I.
Because as dominant as I was, as I feel like I was pretty damn dominant. That one moment, and you know the moment I'm talking about.
Yep.
You caught the second reversal, putting me in the negative, and you just so happened to already be on the top rope and hit your 630. I had no resiliency, I don't think.
Nope. And I think I put you in at least orange body damage. It kind of made it interesting.
My heart to my behind, it sank. But Aleister Black kicked out. And hey, Ricochet did not go down without a fight.
No, he kicked out of 4 black masses.
Maybe even 4.
Yeah, I think someone counted it during the chat. I believe someone said 4
during
black
the
masses.
premiere. I'm not gonna lie, because I was in the premiere. I was in the chat like, this got to be it to hype it up. You know how the announcers are. And you got a new chip. Oh my god, bro! I confidently did that one time, but actually thinking like, oh, this is where I won. And I forgot you kicked out. Like, because this was like the
kicked out 3 times.
This might have been the 3rd black mass, and I was like, all right, this was the one for sure that knocked you out. And no, like Ricochet fought, man. I'm proud to have him at my Cruiserweight Championship. I'm gonna be honest.
He's still the king of the ring.
I might want to see this match happen one more time.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it could be. One, it continues the story because you keep both of these superstars.
I don't think the story's done with them. That's what I'm gonna say.
100%. Because obviously, it would have been great if Ricochet won and he would have had 2 titles, King of the Ring. He was the Royal Rumble winner, but going into season 2, he's still King of the Ring, still won at Royal Rumble, and he's still the Cruiserweight Champion. But if he keeps winning and he gets that loss off of his back from losing to Aleister Black. Yeah, maybe he wants to challenge Black for that championship because, honestly, I do think, come season 2, that he's probably one of the very few superstars that could actually dethrone Aleister Black.
I could think I might have a storyline to Ricochet still.
Because, like...
I can start... I'm glad I can still start thinking of storylines because, like, that's what I do now. My brain automatically on my free time thinks of storylines for universe mode, and it's hard to do that when you don't actually have somebody cemented yet.
Yeah.
Like, I've thought of storylines with my giraffe picks, but I'm like, I don't know if Jesse drafts them before me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hopeful.
Because, like, the only people I could really think that might challenge Aleister Black for that title, maybe Kofi, because he's on your roster. Maybe Seth gets that back. Ricky.
Well, obviously, that's the only people we got protected.
Yeah. I mean, you do have Tyler Bate. You know how good he is, and Christian's great with him.
I do not know if Tyler Bates losing that tag team championship.
He will. They're a great team. But
I don't know if Aleister Black is losing that Universal Championship.
Yeah, but you
or Ricochet in the Cruiserweight Championship.
You definitely. Well, we share that. So
yeah, but still, I don't know if he's losing it.
He'll lose it.
He does show mortality, which is different than Aleister Black. Aleister Black, since he got the championship, he doesn't even show that he's mortal anymore.
No. But ridiculous. Christian definitely does have talent on his roster where Aleister Black could lose that title come season 2. But
it's gonna be fun.
We'll see.
That was the end of part 2, but now let's get into the real bread and butter.
Yeah.
The top of part 3.
Personally, what was your favorite part of
Part 3? Oh, my favorite part was part 3. My favorite moment was in part 3.
Wow. Part 2 was my favorite part. Part 3 was great, but part 2 was my favorite.
I love the triple threat match, I love the triple threat match. I love I guess I should say I love both triple threat matches. And like you said, the Fiend versus Milo match was awesome. And then what was the match after triple threat? The United States one. I can't think of it right now for whatever reason. Oh, AJ Finn. I love the fact that. Finn came out with you know what? Let's talk about it. We'll talk triple threat match. Adam Cole, Braun Strowman, John Cena.
U.S. champion. Adam Cole caught fire at the right time as well. He beat John Cena to become the #1 contender.
check the camera, but I realize I'm in shorts that don't match the outfit. I just put on like a top that is cool.
You're okay. But Adam Cole became a great guy toward the end of Universe Mode for me as the mid-card champion. He beat John Cena to become the number one contender. He went against Milo at In Your House pay-per-view. Beat Milo, Roman Reigns, whatever you want to call him. And he was going to walk into WrestleMania as the United States champion. The thing is, on that SmackDown, the original plan was Braun Strowman, Cole, and Cena. Whoever wins that match goes against Milo at In Your House pay-per-view. It did not happen. Roderick Strong and other members of Undisputed Era took down Braun Strowman. That's what set up Roderick Strong against Braun Strowman at In Your House. Braun Strowman won. He became the number one contender. So you kind of had like an idea, it's going to be Cole against Braun for the United States Championship. Nope. Made it even better by putting John Cena, and the GOAT, in that match.
I do want to disclaim, the reason why I feel like that, putting in John Cena in the match, was needed, because somebody may say it was kind of forced, but it was needed because originally the number one contender match was going to be John Cena versus Adam Cole versus Braun.
Exactly.
And this was the match that, like, hear how that match sounds.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
That's not something you can be teased and just don't get that. Yeah. I need that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got that. And I was John Cena, and I should have won this, bro.
Yeah,
I was sitting up for like
Cena
an
wasn't
hour.
even hurt.
I was like this for like 20 minutes, and you were just hitting everything on Braun.
Yeah. Cena wasn't even hurt.
And then it was like, one. Oh, I'm good now. Okay, cool.
And then I won. But, yeah. It was a great match.
If I would have won this, like, I feel like I personally should have, because Cena was kicking ass.
Yeah, he looked great.
We would have had to rock, paper, scissors for the pick. And I trust my rock, paper, scissors game. Like, rock, paper, scissors. I beat you, Jesse. You did paper. I saw that.
I'd probably lose. But, yeah, it was a great match. Cole came out with the United States gear. Shout out to Skylar Spider-Man. One of the best attires of the night. But Cole, he hit the last shot on Braun Strowman while Cena was seated up. He started to get up at one, and I was like, oh, no. Like, Cena's going to break it up, but he was way too far from the pin. It was on the other side of the ring. And Braun Strowman, he lost clean to Adam Cole. So it worked out for Undisputed Era. I got 3 champions out of that faction. I already stated that before. But Adam Cole is leading that group to success because going into Season 2, I got plans for all 4 of those gentlemen. So, but things get interesting because Cena's on the board, Braun's on the board, and they were both on my roster. Cena was on Raw. But I hope I could bring those guys both back. But if I don't, it's okay because I got plans for a lot of people I'm going to be drafting. So
yeah, I really got to see who's your first pick to really start even making moves. And I got enough faith in trades. I'm going to be heavy in the. If you want to be real, I think you're going to win the draft. I think. Oh yeah. I think on paper you're absolutely going to win the draft. But I won
the draft last season. But you do a better job with booking.
I do think you won the draft last season as well. I guess for me, I just like my certain superstars, so I do not even care for some other ones. Like, I'm pretty sure the people you're drafting, for the most part, I don't even want. Like, I know particularly you want one person, and I don't even want that guy. Like, I got him on my list that if he kind of falls low, whatever, grab him because of the value. But I know, like, I'm not going to... I can't wait. I can't wait for the behind-the-scenes one now. I cannot wait.
Yeah, the draft is going to be fun.
But, yeah, so let's talk about the second match. It was AJ Styles versus Finn Balor and, I guess, the club. This, obviously, was in after Finn Balor kicked AJ Styles out the club for not holding his own weight.
He wasn't,
and he held his weight on this night. Because
and he's the only second person to ever beat the Demon.
That's true. That is
Samoa
true.
Joe beat him in NXT, but on the main roster, AJ Styles has a win over the Demon.
Now, what gets interesting, Jesse, is what if Finn Balor and AJ Styles stay on the same brand next year? Those heads are meant to clash.
That story has to continue.
If it does, I really don't want them to be on the same brands because I don't want to continue the story.
Oh wow! I thought you would have said the opposite.
So I'm. If I get them, I will continue them. If I don't, I'm satisfied either way. I got ideas regardless.
The question for you is
and it's no question. AJ Styles is now not the leader of the club. Like,
yeah. Yeah, he'll be a solo.
It's not like
wrestler.
he that's what he won. No,
Yeah.
he's solo now.
Mhm.
They split up. That's it.
Yeah.
It's Balor Club.
Yeah, but the thing is, do we consider Balor Club as one pick?
It'll be how it is last time.
So two.
It's three people. So anything
picks.
outside of two, if you're drafting other people, it's another one.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's cool.
It's 2 picks.
Okay, but okay, cool. So Finn is with the club. Balor Club. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to know.
Unless you do want to separate them, if you're interested in drafting them.
Okay.
But that's a question.
Okay,
Up to you.
I just wanted to know if it would be considered one pick or two, because I don't have a problem with it being one pick since they're a faction, or if you wanted to keep the rules like we did last year.
I think keeping the rules
two.
last year just because I don't want it to be unbalanced on the scale.
Okay.
Of how many people somebody drafts compared to
yeah,
because somebody could just draft all factions and it's one pick though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it was a good match though. Finn hit AJ Styles with I believe a 1916 or two. I know he hit the coup de grace out of Resiliency. I kicked out. Oh my god, I hit you with at least 3 Styles clashes. I went for the forearm, it missed, and then I'm pretty sure you got into the negative where you can't reverse anything.
Yeah,
I hit the Styles clash.
I don't know if I went for a finishing move, but you put me in the negative, and then from there I kind of knew it was over. And I just wanted to cry tears because that was
the one that won me the whole pay-per-view.
That was the one that
I was up 7-3 at that point.
Luckily, I came back a little with these next 2 matches. Milo versus Fiend. I did win. That match was fun.
Second best.
I wish we could have actually threw him off the cells. I don't know what we were doing wrong.
Yeah, I don't. It was kind of being weird.
We threw each other off the cells, but I kind of just fell and landed on my feet.
Yeah, and got right back up like it wasn't like normal.
I wanted the real go through the table and
same.
power bomb or maybe a possible spear. I don't think that's possible.
No, yeah,
that would be crazy.
That wasn't even attempted in real life. Oh god,
that would be death.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I'm sure Roman could do a power bomb off. Same thing with Bray.
The thing was we had signatures and finishers, and we were switching in and out of the signature and finisher, and was waiting for an OMG or a finisher, and maybe I would get thrown off the cage. But it was being weird. We even tried to grapple each other and go toward the cell, but they would kind of
they'll just lose their footing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And they would not fall off the cage, but almost fall off. But I like the way the match ended. I believe either Fiend or Roman went through the top of the cell.
Roman went through the cell.
Yeah.
And then from there on out, I don't think you were able to hit me with a finisher. You hit me with the corner signature, the Sister Abigail. You couldn't get the finisher on me. And then I needed still to take 2 spears to get you out. Well, I had the spear and then I had the pop-up Superman punch.
Yeah, and that's what ended it.
Ultimately.
Yeah,
I was surprised you kicked out of the spear.
Well, yeah, it's the Fiend, bro.
That late, though, in the match, after you got thrown off the cell,
yeah.
after you got put through the actual cell, to go outside.
Yeah,
that was incredible resiliency from the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, but that's who he is, man.
Yeah, the Fiend lost. He's now a free agent.
So, does this change your whole game plan completely?
If I lose the Fiend, I lose the Fiend.
That's what I feel with most of my roster, to be honest.
I'm just gonna keep going because
my top 3 that I wanted to keep, I kept. So whoever I lose, I lose.
Yeah. Now that we have a season 2 and we are allowed to have legends, AEW guys, TNA, NXT standouts, whoever's on the creations. If I lose the Fiend and I pick up someone I want in the draft, cool. You know what I mean? If I lose the Fiend, I lose the Fiend. If I don't, he's still on my roster and I get these guys that I want in my draft. It's going to be cool because I can mix in some cool storylines and some cool rivalries and hopefully have some great matches. So, but if I don't have the Fiend, it's cool. I think I booked him perfectly. I remember going into the draft, you said he is one person. No, what was it?
He's difficult.
He's a
difficult person to book.
Yeah, I just couldn't talk for a second there. But I loved booking him because he's that weird dude. He's a decent wrestler. His character's crazy.
We were able to get creative with it.
Yeah.
Even fighting in the dungeon or just having him do an entrance, keeping him relevant. That was something. Realistically, it's hard to book anybody.
Yeah. This season alone, he was a 3-time WWE champion.
That's credible. Credibility.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a reign, but he was always involved.
You get it?
Yeah. No, I get it. Roman Reigns, yeah. But he was always involved in that main card scene, and that's what I wanted him to be in. And I loved using him. I loved booking him. And if I keep him, I keep him. If I don't, I don't. It's cool with me because this season 2, I'm talking now, SmackDown's going to get even better.
Yeah, I really hope they don't hear my niece crying upstairs in the background. But let's talk about the main event because I was crying at the end of this one. Io Shirai versus Asuka versus Kabuki Warriors. So many tears of joy, man. Tears of joy.
I was like, you won.
So many stories being told in this match. Obviously, we had the dope attires from everybody. Kairi Sane almost going back to her roots with her attire, which I loved. Asuka just, in my opinion, her attire was shredding everything of what she was that season and just being herself and something new.
Kairi Sane had,
Io Shirai,
had attire.
God, that was a attire created by, it might have been Declan. It could have been Declan,
I believe. Attire of the night, easily.
Swords, could she? I thought it was pretty poetic because she stabbed 2 people in the back, so that's how I viewed it.
Yeah.
But
I love
and those people that stabbed her in the back, that she stabbed in the back, were gunning for her in the beginning of the match. Both Kairi Sane and Asuka put Io Shirai through an announcer's table.
On each one.
That was awesome. And then when it was time for Asuka and Kairi to fight, they did just that. Kairi Sane also sprayed mist into Io Shirai's face, what we saw Io Shirai do for so long in the year.
She got payback.
Payback for sure.
What was crazy was Io Shirai was in the negative, and she was kicking out of stuff.
Kicking out,
reversing everything.
Asuka put brass knuckles to the dome of Io Shirai. Once again, I feel like stripping Asuka of what she may have been into a new person. Brass knuckles is Extreme Rules. We're gonna get extreme. 5 to the face. Well, 4 to the face because it's just the 4 knuckles.
The thing that kind of was hard for me, Asuka was down a lot in that match.
She was.
Kairi
Sane looked incredible.
Yeah, Asuka had her moments. She flew off the top rope, broke the table. Brass knuckles. I obviously hurt Io and Kairi Sane with the kendo sticks, chairs, tables, baseball bat. Literally, that ring was everywhere.
Yeah.
Steel steps were everywhere.
Everything was used, and that's what I like too. But to me, one of the most poetic things in the whole match, that's what it is to me. This match hit all of its beats. Kairi and Asuka gunning for her.
The ending was perfect.
The mist, the brass knuckles, those are important things that I feel that needed to be done. And then the ending,
it told the perfect story.
You kind of, to be honest, I did it without even thinking, but you, in my opinion, put the puzzle in the actual, put the piece into the puzzle by saying that is what ultimately started this all. Kairi was put through a table by Tamina, paid by Io Shirai, and now
that's what Kairi did to Io.
Able to do that to Io Shirai with a hell of a move. She hit her with an Alabama slam into the table and slam a jam.
And
we
that's
got a new Raw Women's Champion protected as well.
Exactly. That's what won the match for Kairi Sane, putting Io through the table. She got her revenge. She got her payback, and now she has that Raw Women's Championship. And that match was easily match of the night. Fiend and Roman was probably number 2 for me. Undisputed Era versus Rated RKO is probably a 3. But those are my favorite 3 matches
I'll
for
me.
me.
2 and the 3 in my opinion.
Okay.
And then number 4, I might throw Aleister Black and Ricochet just because I love the story told in that match as well. That's probably how I divvy it up. Either way, I thought it was a super successful show.
Yeah,
and
it's showing too.
1,000 views on each one, which is incredible in my opinion. And I'm really hoping that this new season can possibly, because people every day type in 2K20 draft. But the thing is, they might be so far out, 100 episodes. Damn it, I don't know if I want to watch that. This time we're starting the season fresh. This is the draft. And there's nothing to catch up to. You can follow it now. So if you're new, hello, you're welcome. Absolutely. And also, if they're new and they're into the season, oh my God, how'd we get here? Yeah. All you gotta do is watch the Mania. So I'm hoping this is something that people go back to. Or you could watch the award show. First time we're doing this. I don't know if any YouTuber has done this for their universe mode. Not too sure.
Possibly.
I don't really follow them. This is going to be, for me, the first time I ever do something is always an experimentation. The way we're doing it now, is just an experimentation for next season, how we do it, or next game, how we do it, whatever we come down to, however the games drop. But this one's going to be cool. I promise you the next one is going to be awesome. Just like how the first draft we did was cool. The second draft we did, green screen, whiteboards. Awesome, man. I love that second draft.
Yeah,
I think this draft even better.
Yeah, I want to ask if you have different ideas or you want to do the same concept, but we'll save that.
I think that was an awesome concept, and I want to have the people pop up on the screen like we did last time. But guys, so with that being said, award show. This episode is dropping on a Friday, so award show will be dropping in 7 days from here, from at least when this episode drops. It will be dropping on a Friday. A week after this, I don't really know. I think that might be July 31st. Or that might be August 1st. Can you actually get your phone out and do that? In the meantime, no Universe Mode episodes will be dropping, but I do want to drop a video where I kind of go into detail of next season, of possibilities that we can do. I want to possibly do a Patreon, but I want to know if it's even worth it. If this would be something you would pay for. Yeah. I have a list of things that we can do as perks of signing up for the Patreon. Did you find out the date?
July 31st will be the award show.
July 31st is the award show. So, I mean, you guys could maybe start commenting here. Would you guys be interested for a Patreon for exclusive perks? Again, that will be in a future video. I don't know if that will be coming out before the award show or after the award show. I'm not too sure. I kind of got to see where everything falls. But guys, with all that being said, thank you for a successful season. Jesse, this is officially... we'll also say the thank yous in the award show.
Yeah.
So you know what? With that being said, we will see you later. Because I hope to see you at that award show. It's going to be fun. Not too crazy, maybe 20 minutes, but just a nice little recap.
Of the season.
Maybe something like, oh my God, I forgot that happened. And that's what I hope you guys get out of it. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, please comment, like, share, subscribe.
Ring the bells. Get our new updated videos, live streams whenever we do those as well. New videos, all that good stuff. Stay tuned because the award show is coming out next week. A week after that, I believe we are going to...
let's cover the nominations. I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I will actually post polls of all this. I can't say that the polls will influence our voting. I wish they would have. Like I said, next year I plan to go all out, possibly do that. But due to time constraints, we can't do that this time. But we do have some nominations.
We have 10 in total, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And there's one in the back, right?
9, 10 awards total, but we only got 9 that we're actually doing nominations for.
Okay.
So let's talk about the nominations real quick. Jesse, let's divvy it up. You can take those. I take these. So
I'll go first.
Go first.
You want me to read off the nominations too?
Yeah.
Okay. First one on this no card here, we got Match of the Year. Pretty simple. We have a few nominations in each category. Some we have 3, 4, 5, depending on the category.
I don't want to talk in depth about the nominations. I just want to drop it.
Okay.
But yeah.
But Match of the Year, it is Roderick Strong versus Ricochet. Ricochet versus Ali.
See that trend already.
Aleister Black versus Seth Rollins. Kofi Kingston versus Ali. Those are the 4 nominations for Match of the Year.
So I want to go into Storyline of the Year. That is Randy Orton becoming the Rookie Killer Orton. Sister Abigail being born and arriving. Aleister Black finally getting the championship. And then Kairi Sane getting the ultimate revenge.
Also on this card, we have Tag Team of the Year for men. We also did for women, but on this card, it's for the men. Keith and Kevin Show, Street Profits, Rated RKO, and we also threw Mustache Mountain in there.
For Superstar of the Year, we have Ricochet, Aleister Black, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Kofi Kingston.
And Women's Tag Team of the Year, we have Bayley and Sasha, my current tag team champions going into Season 2. Baddest Women Alive, which is Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Kabuki Warriors, if you want to say it was Asuka and Io, or Asuka and Kairi Sane, either or. And also Kansas and Dakota, or Team Denim.
Denim. Woman Superstar of the Year, Sister Abigail, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai.
And the last category on my card, I got Rivalry of the Year, Io, Asuka and Kairi Sane, Aleister Black and Seth Rollins, The Fiend versus Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry and Braun Strowman.
Pay-per-view of the year, we had Royal Rumble, TLC, Survivor Series, and Extreme Rules. Last one we had was the Steal the Draft / Surprise of the Year. That one was Mark Henry, Candice and Dakota, Sister Abigail, and Keith Lee. Guys, you will see all those be announced as far as one more special award at the next time you'll see us, maybe even the time after. But it will be Friday, July 31st. Will be a special episode. We hope to see you guys there, and that will be almost the last episode we really have recapping this epic season 1, Jesse.
Because after that,
thank you for a successful season. We don't do pounds anymore. We don't do handshakes.
Yeah, because of COVID. But after the well, no, not the elbow, bro. Because you know how people be having rusty elbows with lotion and
rusty, or
crusty, ashy, crusty, whatever you want to call it.
God damn it.
But after next week's award show, that's it. Season 1 is definitely in the books. After that,
put a bow on it.
Season 2, the draft will be recorded. We'll do a recap after the draft, discuss our maybe our storylines, rivalries we want to do, etc., what our thoughts were. And then right after that, Season 2 is going to be starting episode 1 of Raw, SmackDown, boom, boom, week 3, pay-per-view. It's going to be the same concept after the draft, and hopefully another Season 2. It's successful. We go all the way to WrestleMania before hopefully the next WWE 2K game comes out. And hopefully it's better than this one, because this one still has its issues.
We're playing Battleground. No, we're not. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, we will see you on the other side of the universe.
Peace.